Hello, my friend, and welcome to the study. Today we're going to relax with some calming sounds. Here I've got a linen little placemat, and it's got some embroidery on it, some green starburst flower patterns. And sort of a crochet pattern. And I thought we can bathe our minds in these beautiful sounds and have a little bit of a chat about staying calm in this turbulent world. Staying calm in this turbulent world. Because to be calm is the highest achievement of self. This was a little tag on a tea bag. Some teas have these little things on them, and I like to keep them, especially if the message speaks to me somehow. Nice little things to keep between pages or in a pocket, and you might find it at an unexpected moment, and it gives you some inspiration or encouragement. Look, I've got some more things for us today. Lots of beautiful sounds. Just little bits and pieces that I've collected to show you today. And I thought we could put together a little box of pretty sounds, of calming sounds while we chat. And we might do a little bit of writing and maybe some painting, some watercolor, decorating our thoughts. The theme I've kind of picked is pink, but there are other things as well. Pink because it's not too dark for a January afternoon. It's also a calming color. And there we have some washi tape. Look at that. I don't know if that makes much of a sound, but it's pretty colors and we can use it. And I like the sound of the things in the little wooden tray. It's a bamboo tray. Do you like wood sounds? I love the wood sound. So it's very important to slow down from time to time, take a breath, and engage in some calming activity, something calming for the spirit, calming calming for the mind and the emotions. Give yourself a chance to process the day, the feelings, the thoughts. These are some magnetic clips. It's kind of a card sound. They're not very strong. They're only good for probably being bookmarks. If you put two pieces of paper between them, they don't really stick together. So essentially they're just bookmarks or color swatches. Look at that. So we can use them as bookmarks. Next we see a little clip. Little resin plastic clip to clip things together. So some papers or, I don't know, socks, something. So that's our first little bucket. First bamboo bit. Another one. Another square bamboo container or tray. And this one has paper. I always love the paper noises or sounds. This one is a little envelope. We can put something in it later. And some more of our decal-edged cards. We've played with these before in the study. Do you remember? They make nice sounds because the edges are very thin and the middle is thick. And the texture is coarse. That might be something that we can put some color on and paint and write on. Just, there we go. Something else. Some more nice clicky sounds. It's a little shell. At one time, a creature was living in there, happy in its little home, floating in the sea, floating without a care for all of the problems of humanity. And then, when he was finished, this washed up on the beach. And here's a piece of what looks to be quartz, perhaps amethyst. It's a bit cracked, and you can see the fissures in the little stone that's been polished to a shine. Those fissures make it interesting looking into the stone. You can see all kinds of facets inside. It's very beautiful how the colors, the green and purple, pink and clear, come together in different layers. And then we have some muscles, bivalves, with some barnacles. Shells make some of the nicest sounds. And this one has some things in it, just little bits and pieces that I've picked up from around the study. Some little baby bivalves, the little shell there, very shiny on the top. A couple more baby bivalves. Very soft noise they make. Clicky click. Very pretty and shiny. Picked up off a riverbank or beach. And here is something perhaps from the Indian Ocean. It's a cowrie shell. It's hollow. They make a hollow sort of sound. And they were used in the ancient world as counting pieces. And here we have another little piece of rose quartz that's been polished, but it also has some tiny fissures in it. Make it very pretty. A pearl. It's probably not a real one. And a couple of gold beads. It's almost like a game. Roll them along the shell's crenellation. These gold beads came off of a dress I wore to 1920s party. I used to do lots of ballroom dancing. I love dancing. And when I lived in Sydney, there's a bit of sand in here from the beach. When I lived in Sydney, we used to have ballroom dancing parties, themed. And one of them was 1920s. And I went as a flapper. I had this gorgeous dress that goes just a little bit below the knees, which means when you dance with it, it obviously comes up mid-thigh, and it's beaded, beads everywhere, all over it, in strings of beads hanging down. So they kind of make tassels, the beads. So when I was dancing, the beads were swishing, and it was lots of fun. And of course, all that dancing in that dress led to some of the strings losing a few beads here and there, so I picked them up out of the wardrobe and try to keep them together. So there's those gold beads. For a nice memory there. And there's our shells. What else do we have? Something nice. More pink. And that's quite shiny, isn't it? And this is a small sample of some perfume. I think it's Occitan. L'Arlésienne, I think. It's a very pretty scent, a little bit floral, very fresh. Look at the liquid and perfume in the bottle. Look at that. This is very calming. I always find liquids and water mesmerizing, calming. I remember sailing as a child, and I would lean off either the side or the bow, depending on how big the boat was. Sometimes it was no bigger than a large dinghy, and just watch the water as we sailed around, enjoying ourselves. I could do it for hours. Watch the patterns. I think one of the things that keeps us stressed in this day and age is the constant barrage we get from the media. It can be social media, television, news, even films and shows that we watch. And I'm always mindful of how much I expose myself to that, because it puts your mind in a state of stress, in your body as well. These algorithms are very purposely set to be clickbaity or attract attention. So they often use the most distressing, disturbing headlines, for example. Things that make you think, oh my God, look what that person did. Look what's happening over there. Look what somebody said or did. And by the same token, you get a reaction that you need to know what's going on all the time. That if you don't click it, if you don't look, if you don't read the story, you're going to miss out. If you don't see what's being reported, see what people are talking about. Oh, what happened with this and that? What happened with that person? What's going on over here? I might not know if I don't look and find out. And that's what these algorithms count on, because they're actually stealing your attention. They're hijacking your attention. The more and the longer that your attention is focused on that, the more money they earn, and that's their goal. But this constant barrage of bad stories, disturbing things, puts you in a state of stress. Your body's on high alert, your mind's on high alert, and that state makes it difficult to focus because you're in a sort of fight or flight mode. And to be in that state for prolonged periods is bad for your health, it's bad for your mentality, it's bad for your mood, your emotions. It also makes it so that you don't react in a considered manner to things, to stressors, to stimuli, because you're in a fight or flight mode. So you're more likely to react in a very defensive or aggressive manner, depending on your personality. You're less likely to think about what you say or do before doing it. So you need to be patient with yourself when you feel this way. Just recognize what's causing this stress. I realize that I'm feeling a bit stressed. I take myself away from what it is. Relax a little bit, calm down, put yourself in a calming, safe environment, even if it's only the bubble around your immediate body. And be patient with yourself. What else have we got? Oh, more pink. Look at that. Here's some nice sounds. Look at that. There's some men next door painting the outside of a house. They're very loud. I'm trying to ignore them. It's annoying to me. So I'm just taking myself away from that annoyance and focusing on these lovely sounds and spending some time with you. So this is a beautiful candle holder. It's glass. Oh, I love that. Do you like that? Does that give you tingles all over your head and down the back of your neck? And little metal handle like a bucket. And there's our candle. It's rose. Lovely. This one is in a little plastic cup. One of the things I like to do with these tea light candles is when they burn down all the way and the wick no longer lights, there's still a bit of wax in the bottom. And I'll put that on the radiator in a nice room like the bedroom or something. And as the radiator heats up, the scent from the wax goes in the room. It's really lovely. And then of course you can recycle the plastic, or if it's a metal one, you can use it for seeds if you're sprouting seeds in the garden. Any small seed you've got, until the seed takes root, then you can transfer it. And the metal ones can be recycled as well. Whoops, that was loud, sorry. There we go. And we've got some pens. Pretty pens. Another way that I avoid getting too stressed out and stay calm in this world of disturbing headlines and actions and things is to try and stay aloof from it. One of the many things that I do is translating, and if you're a regular visitor to the study, that probably will come as no surprise to you. I used to do a lot of translating, historical documents and letters, things from companies, so different texts having to do with regulations, reports, and all kinds of things. I also used to do some subtitles for things, anything from films to documentaries and interviews and things like that. I did everything. And I was on a freelance translators forum, and someone on the forum once asked everyone, what do you do if you get a text that has ideas in it that you don't agree with? And of course, most of us, if not all of us, replied with, that's really none of our business. We're just hired to translate the document from one language into another. If it's something, obviously, that you really don't like, if it goes against your morals or ethics, you can always refuse the job. So I'm sorry, I can't do this. And that's perfectly okay. But it's not a translator's job to interpret the meanings and change the meanings of a speech, for example. Someone wants to give a speech and they need it translated, or an article they've written. It's not the translator's job to judge. Just translate from one language to another so that this can be communicated more widely. And it's that sort of aloofness and lack of engagement in something problematic, I think, that I really like about translating, editing, even some other things I do as well, because it allows me to focus on the task at hand and not let whatever it is that's troubling penetrate my psyche, my thought process. I don't let it get in my head and bother me later. Of course, it's not always easy, but if I'm doing a job, it's a little bit more straightforward, because I say, okay, I'm not here to comment on that, even though I might have my own thoughts on the matter. I'm here to translate it. I'm here to edit it for grammar, or what have you. And it makes things like that a lot less stressful. So taking yourself away a little bit, being aloof. If you happen to see a disturbing news story or an upsetting comment on social media, disturbing, distressing video, I mean, there's no shortage of that everywhere. You have to put a bit of a barrier, your own style of barrier, between yourself and the subject matter there. So, for example, I see a lot of charity organizations that advertise for protection of wild animals, or even domesticated animals like donkeys, trafficked animals like bears and pangolins. It is really, really disturbing to me. It almost makes me physically ill sometimes, just knowing about these things that are out there, and the feeling that even if I contribute to this charity, there's nothing I can do about the suffering of some animal or some person. So I have to just step back a little bit and say to myself, logically, I know that these companies or these societies are there to collect money, whether it be for a good cause or not. That's their goal. And how do they do that most effectively is by evoking emotion. So even though I see a video footage of some animal being mistreated, I can think that's maybe 2 seconds of footage. It's being shown in the worst light possible, and I'm going to distance myself from that. And if it's something that really bothers me, I'm going to take action in my own life and do what I can, and not buy into the hype in the media, but keep my own center, know what I'm about, and know that this is just an ad. It's not going to attack my ethics, my peace of mind. It's just an ad. And I do what I can for things that are important to me. I've been very active with animal welfare charities. Some of you know I had a friend who passed away last year. We used to go very often to one of the wildlife charities here, a local charity, and participate quite a lot with them, helping out badgers and squirrels and deer, all kinds of animals that they found injured and had to be rehabilitated. I used to spend a lot of time doing that. Still do, except alone now. But one of the ways that I keep myself centered in my own purpose. Once I put that there, It's very nice here now, just chatting with you. I've got one more thing. Well, I've got a few more things. Look at this. Oh, I love this. This makes some beautiful sounds. I think that's another piece of advice I found on a tea bag tag was let your manners speak for you. So if you're not so quick to react emotionally to something that stimulates or, shall we say, triggers you, your manner will speak for you. Stay calm and considering. And that influences other people to be calm and polite and civil and more effectively address any problems. Look at that, we've got some lovely little beads in a glass bottle. A little mini glass bottle. Look at that. We'll put that there. And there is another bead and some cauliflower. There's cauliflower all over the house because my old dog is shedding. I don't take him to the groomers anymore because he's old and I don't want to distress him too much. I think he gets a bit upset now in his old age, so I keep him here and do the best I can myself. I don't have those big fur blowers, but we just use the brush. So I've got fur everywhere. There's some more. And we've got some bottles in here from before. Do you remember these? These we used to thank our patrons 1 month. Must have been a year ago now. We filled them up, wrote patron names on them, and a nice little message. And then we went and set them afloat in the river, a little creek. Let's open them up today, see what's inside. Why don't we undo that? Let's, there we go, cork. See if I can get that out. I might need something smaller. I'll go get something smaller. There, my weird Native American, South American thing. I don't know if it's a letter opener or just I don't know what that is. Found it amongst some family items when my mum died. And I cleaned out the house. She was quite a lady. She was very active, traveled the world several times over, had loads of stuff for me to go through as well. Half of the things like this I don't know the story behind, so it's kind of an adventure just going through some of the things. Let's see if I can get this little message out. I don't know. Makes a nice noise though, doesn't it? A little sound rather. Noise is too harsh of a word for that. Put those in there. Little blue beads. There we go. Not having any luck there, but I am making some lovely sounds. I like that. Alright, get some tweezers, that's better. I think if I can get a hold of that, I'll be able to pull that out. There we are. And that was You have a good heart. We'll write our patrons' names today as well, because today is the day we thank our patrons. And this one had some tape on it with fish. Washi tape. Let's see if I can get that cork sound. This one has a black pearl, Tahitian pearls in there. And there we are. You have great ideas. Look at that one. Has some little baby cowrie shells in it. And some more washi tape. Cork. This one might be a little bit easier. And the little baby cowrie shells. Oh, and some sand must have come out of them as well. Look at the little sand. Sand. Is that fascinating? I think it is. That sand has been... Oh, and then this one's a cowrie, but I don't know what this one is. Something else. But that sand used to be possibly, perhaps, a great rock. Who knows the journey it's made from wherever it was to the ocean and into a shell, and now in the study with you and me. I'll put the baby shells there. Look at the sand. What else do we have? Oh, we didn't read that. Thanks for reminding me. You are a good friend. You are a good friend. I bet all of your friends will say that to you. Another one. We always have such fun writing patrons' names at the end of the month. I really do appreciate everyone who watches and contributes. You are valued. And there we are. So, let's decide how we're going to put all of this together for a nice patron thank you. The next tray. Look at that. I've got some packing here. That's nice ribbon there. Look at that. Little gauzy pink. Very pink ribbon. I've got a box. Now the box. And we're going to put some pretty sounds in that box. Just for you. Just for for your mind to remember. That way, whenever you're stressed, you can open that box anytime and listen to the sounds, letting your brain become like a lizard, just living in the moment with the tingles going down your ears and neck. Got some more packaging here. This is a lovely, lovely sound. It's a waxed paper bag. It's shiny and crinkly at the same time. Isn't that great? What shall we put in that? And some shredded paper, grass. Look at that. Whoosh. Love that sound. I think one of the things I really loved as a child that gave me ASMR was I was a girly girl growing up, and we used to play with our dolls together, my friends and I, and brush the doll's hair, and brush each other's hair. Sometimes we'd sing or talk, or sometimes just brush the hair. And it was very, very calming, very pleasant. And look at this piece. I've kept this for a while. It's one of my favorite pieces of paper. It's very stiff and crinkly, and I think a book came in it at some point, but I don't remember what it was anymore. You can see the shape. Oh yes, it must have been a book that was about that wide. But such a lovely sound, and it feels so thick, yet you can see through it. So you can see through the paper, almost like it were tissue paper, but it's not. Very crinkly. I like that one. And this one is heart-shaped bubble wrap. And enjoy the sounds. And that's very nice and soft for packing something breakable. Glass. This is another piece of tissue paper. Oh look, this sounds easy. I'm going to turn that over. There we are. Okay, we'll have a look at this first. When I lived in Berlin, I used to go to Sanssouci in the summer when it was hot, and the fountains go down, terraced fountains, and you lie on the lawns there and cool off. So that's a little reminder of Sanssouci. Lovely place. And this is another piece of tissue paper that I really like. I don't know why certain tissue papers can be so unique or different from any other tissue paper, but some of them they inspire. Inspire is not a good word, so probably just like the sounds, the way it feels on the hands, the way it sounds. Certain tissue papers I like to save just for the sounds, and this is one of them. I also use them in my painting notebooks, or if I'm drawing or something. I can separate the pages with a piece so that the colors don't run onto the next page. Tissue paper. Put that one there too. Look at that. And our box. I think it's time that we did some writing and painting for our patrons. So I'm going to use my little travel watercolor box. I don't know if that's a good sound or not. I won't do too much. There you can see I've been painting with it, and this, and I'll get some paper towel. Paper towel, or kitchen roll, whatever you prefer to call it, and this little travel brush. It's got water in it. I usually keep it filled with distilled water. And let's get our paper things. We've got our flowers, and there's a bird. Another flower, if I can get that. There. And I think that will do. And an envelope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 patrons today. If you have not had a look at the study's Patron website, you're welcome to do that, where you can find a few little exclusive bits and pieces. So I think let's start by painting some colors, and then we'll also use a few of these stickers. So, how about a bird? And I'm going to just do a little bit like that, and then ink in later, because this is not the best paper for painting. Oh, there's a good one, color like that. Let's see. The little inky bits there. There. And the little legs. Dip, dip. Okay. And what shall we draw now? How about a lovely tree? Let's go this way, go vertical. And make sure there's no cauliflower anywhere. And I want sort of a grey-brown trunk there. Look at that. I like that. And we'll put... Oh, this is not great for watercolors, this paper. But it's alright. There. I just want a wash a bit. Dip, 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 dip. And some green. Nice green. A little bit of a wash. The good thing about these papers is that it does dry out very quickly. It's good, I suppose, if you want to do what we're doing, which is ink over them. And let's get a little bit more. Maybe it's a little bit wet. There we go. Look at that. So it's still wet there. I don't want to put too many layers because it won't dry fast enough for us. There we go. And there's a lot of squeezing to get the water out of this brush. A little bit more darker, shall we say? A little bit dark. Oh, too much. Too dark. There we go. And we'll ink that a little bit. I want to also make sure that we can see the patron names. Okay, and we've also got some flowers and birds. So use a glue stick for this bird. But also, I think I'm going to cut that little corner off. There we are. And glue. There go the airplanes again. I'm just going to ignore them. Put that there. Look at that. That's very pretty. There's a bird. Another bird. Okay, so I like birds. What else do we have? Flowers. They might be a bit big. I might leave those off of the actual cards. We'll do some more painting. For more, we're getting more and more patrons. To which we always want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. That's the glue. Let's make a little house. A house. Or maybe a little hut. I wanted to say bird hide, but I think it's getting a bit birdy, isn't it? We can make this hut. It's hard to make washes on this because the paper is so, texture is so funny We'll make a few windows and a door. That. There we are. Little house. Okay. Probably could do a little bit more with that. Yeah. And let's make a book. We like books, don't we? Like a nice red book. Book binding. Oh yeah, red for the book cover. It's a nice sound with that textured paper. And maybe some grey, very light grey for the pages. There we go. A book. And how about our pink candle? Or maybe a pot of plants. How about that? So, a nice pot there. There. And greeny plant coming out that way. How's that? Yeah, that's kind of cute. Very cute. And one last thing. Thinking of a car, but I'm not very good at painting cars, or drawing rather. But I could try a sailboat. A sailboat would be lovely. Dreams of sailing in spring. It's so cold. I really don't fancy getting out this winter at all. I have been out in the winter, as you might remember. A few years ago, I was doing rope work for crewing for someone who was doing an exam, and the skin had come off my fingers from doing all the rope work. It was so much fun. It was loads of fun, but it wasn't as cold as it is now. There's our hull, and we want to sail. So let's see, something very grey. And you can hear the squirt of the water. Let's put the mast about there. That means the sail is going to be there. There we are. And got a jib there. Nice boat. Alright. We'll put the squeaky case away. Oh, it sounds so creaky. Alright. And do some inking. After the creaky, we do some inky. With a little ink pen there. So let's start with our bird. Let's start with the eye. Around eye and beak. they know I'm filming. I think I'm going to have to get another pen because this one's out of ink. Okay, there we are. It's a bit of a brush pen. That'll work. There, a wing with a bird there. And his wing going out that way, and his tail going there. That's a good sound. Listen to that. So this one's for our patron Ben. And then we've got our little hut. And the door. The door is a bit open there. The windows. No, coming in. The eaves there a little bit. Maybe it's made out of planks of wood. A little cabin or summer house. And this one is for David B. We have lots of new patrons this month. I'm very happy to welcome everyone. Alright, let's do this one. Our bird, our little lovely blushy bird. And we have David M. Alright. Oh. We have our tree here. A big old tree with the branches going like that. Coming out like that. And a few leaves here and there. Look at those branches. And if we color in some leaves a little bit there, make it look like it goes back quite a ways. These leaves there. Look at all of those leaves. Big tree you could climb in. Make a tree house. Bring a telescope up there. Bring some snacks and have a picnic. Have loads of fun there. And this one is for, I'm going to write right across the tree's trunk. Joshua. Oh, Joshua. Put that one there. And we have our little plant. Right. Put a little bit, a little plant there. The paper keeps moving. That's better. There's a little potted plant, and this one is for Kyla. Thank you, Kyla. And our sailboat. The sailboat. I have an idea who gets this one. There's a tall mast there. There's sail coming out. Look at that. And a little ship there. Beautiful boat on a beautiful sea. And this one is for pirate. Pirate Carrie, thank you. Thank you. And our book. Let's see what we can do with this book. And this brush pen there. Oh, the paper is coming apart. Look at that. See? Paper. Fluffy paper. That's alright. I think that actually makes it look kind of neat. And I'm going to do that a little bit. There we are. A book. Sorry, I keep dropping things. I need to calm down myself because being calm makes everything work better. So this one is for Romulus. Thank you. Thank you to all of our patrons from Patron website. Thank you to everyone who has watched and come to the study. And thank you for being there, for sharing this moment of calm. So, my friend, be good to yourself, be kind to others, and be extraordinary.